Hello everyone, and welcome to my video on the FOIL method for expanding quadratic equations. We're going to begin with a double bracket that we're going to expand using the FOIL method. So it's x plus 2 and x plus 3. Now the FOIL method, FOIL is actually an acronym for first, outer, inner, and last. First means we take the two first elements of each of the brackets and multiply them together. So that's x times x. We get x squared. Outer, you take the two outermost elements of the brackets, x and 3, and multiply them together. So that's 3x. Next, we take the two innermost elements of the brackets, 2 and x, and multiply them together. And finally, we take our two last elements, 2 and 3, and multiply those together to get positive 6. And next what we do is we take this and combine our like terms. So we have x squared, that just moves down, and 3x and 2x can be combined to make 5x, and then our constant 6 just carries over. And on to another example of x plus 5 and x minus 2. Again, we begin with the first, so that brings us x squared. And our outer, x times minus 2, minus 2x, inner, 5 times x, plus 5x, and finally last, which is 5 times minus 2, and that's minus 10. Combining like terms, we get minus 2x plus 5x, which is plus 3x minus 10. Our next example is 2x plus 3 and x minus 7. Beginning with the first, we have 2x times x, which is 2x squared. Now 2x minus 7, which is minus 14x. And we have our inner 3 times x, which is plus 3x. And lastly, we have the last, which is 3 times minus 7. So that's minus 21. Combining like terms, we get 2x squared, and minus 14x plus 3x is minus 11x, and the minus 21 just carries down. The last example of this type is going to be 3x minus 2 and 2 minus x. Now, as you can see here, the x has switched to the opposite side, and this method is still going to work. So we're going to take our first, which is 3x times 2, so we have 6x, and then we have 3x times minus x, so that's minus 3x squared, and minus 2 times 2, our inner, and that's minus 4, and we have negative 2 times negative x, which is plus 2x. And since this is a quadratic equation, we put our x squared term first. So it's minus 3x squared. 6x plus 2x combines to make 8x. And then we have minus 4. So on to two more examples of a different type. We have x plus 5 squared. Now in the same way, if we were to have 6 squared, we would do 6 times 6. So this is the exact same. We just do x plus 5 and multiply it by itself and use the FOIL method. So x times x, you get x squared, x times 5, positive 5x, 5 times x, another 5x, and lastly 5 times 5 plus 25. And the like terms here combine to make positive 10, and we end up with x squared plus 10x plus 25, and that's the answer to this. The last example is x minus 7 multiplied by x plus 7. And the way we do this is x times x, x squared, x times 7, so that's plus 7x, and now it's minus 7 times x, minus 7x, and negative 7 times positive 7, so you get minus 49. So now when we combine like terms, we get x squared, and these two terms cancel each other out to give plus 0x minus 49. And since this is maths, we don't actually write 0x, so we just write down x squared minus 49. And this type of expression is called a difference of two squares, since x squared and 49 are both square numbers, and you have this negative sign here, and that's what makes it the difference.